friendly ghost, the friendliest ghost you know. Grown-ups don't understand why children
Bizarre Brain Comics. Hello, my comic book friends, and welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. I am Gary, your host. And this is where I like to take a look at some older comics, talk a little bit about the characters and creators, and examine the stories and the art. And we are in October Spooky Month. And what could be more in keeping with that sentiment than Casper, the Friendly Ghost, along with Hot Stuff, both from Harvey Comics. But before we get into that, I've got a little contest here for you. Oh, I forgot that. Just in case I need it. And this contest is for a copy of my comic book, signed copy of my comic book, which is available on Amazon, Bizarre Brain Comics Anthology, as well as a copy of two of my zines, for Klingon Sketchbook and Gary's Sketchbook. The Klingon Sketchbook has a few comic pages and a lot of Klingon drawings and portraits. And the regular sketchbook here just features about 24 of the drawings that you see on my channel, as sometimes as the backdrop. And what you have to do for the contest is send me an email at my email address here. It's Korraq, Qorraq, @yahoo.com, with your name and mailing address, so I know where to send this stuff, with the correct answer. And the first one that has the correct answer that I received is, and the question is, what is the name of the voice actor who portrayed Superman in the 1940s radio show? And he also portrayed Superman on the 1940s Fleischer animated short Superman cartoons, as well as did the voice of Superman in the 1960s Saturday morning TV animated show, The New Adventures of Superman. It's all one person. Answer that question with that information, and if you the first one, I'll send that stuff up right out to you. Now, Casper. Casper, the Friendly Ghost. Oh, goes back. A lot of nostalgia for Casper, just because. Oh, I watched. Some of my earliest memories from about 4 or 5 years old are watching Casper cartoons on TV. It was back in the 60s. Okay. And Casper, Casper the Friendly Ghost. He is a character featured in famous studio's theatrical cartoons. And he is sweet and lovable, and is criticized by his uncles, the Ghostly Trio. He starred in 55 theatrical short cartoons from 1945 to 1959, and Harvey Comics bought the character in 59 and became their most popular character. He was featured in a plethora of titles, had an expanded universe with Cousin Spooky, The Horse Nightmare, Hot Stuff, Little Devil, Wendy the Good Little Witch, etc. And he has starred in 5 TV shows and live action movies. Casper first appeared in comics in 1949 from St. John's Publication, and in 52 Harvey had the license until buying the character outright in 59. And he had a short reboot in the the comics in the 90s and again in the 2010s. And I haven't seen any of those latter ones anywhere. I don't know where they are. I even slightly know one of the people who's done some of the coloring on it, and I have never seen them anywhere. So I don't know where they're coming from, where you get those. And then along with, of course, Spooky Month. Actually, Spooky was my preferred character. I was going to do Spooky. I had a book set aside for that, and I must have mislaid it because I have not been able to find it. And I had it set aside specifically to do video on, so I got out Casper. Then, of course, Hot Stuff, the good little the little devil. He's an ornery little devil. And Hot Stuff was created by Warren Kramer. In 1957, appearing in Hot Stuff #1. He's a bad-tempered little devil. Sometimes does good deeds. And what does that say? Oh, and he is criticized by the other devils for doing his good little deeds. And Hot Stuff ran in his own title from 57 to 58, and again in 86 to 91, and again in 2009. Yeah, his demonic brethren didn't like when he did good stuff, but he's terribly hot-tempered. Okay, and so we're going to take a little look at this. This Casper is from 1990, and this Hot Stuff is from 1974. And I've got some older Casper somewhere, but this one was handy, and I enjoyed it. And this book starts off with it's actually a main story, four-part story featuring Casper and the ghostly trio, and Fatso, Lazo, and Fusso. Sounds like the Marx Brothers. And they're approached by a living, talking, walking grandfather's clock. And he has it's kind of a silly little story. Then everyone is rushed for time, and everyone's rushing around because the clock gives out people watches, and the watches are tuned to his time, and his time is wrong. So everyone's rushing around, being late. I'm late. And even Casper falls for that until he loses his watch while he's saving a little rabbit in some quicksand. And even the bears and the eagles and stuff are rushing around late. Goes to the city, and everyone is the same way. And finds the clock sitting on top of the clock tower. He's convinced the clock tower to set to his time, even though he doesn't want to, and he he tricks him into, even though it's summertime, making think it's the time for the new year, and the new baby new year, and the old father time, the old year. He chastises him sorely, fixes everything, and then everyone's back on the proper time, and Casper takes the clock home with him, saying he's going to put it in an antique store because someone will buy this old clock. It even tells how he was built. It was built off to begin with. And it has a cute little story of Nightmare, the ghost horse, haunting a castle, so that the guy can have his can rent the old castle out for some kind of mystery writers meetings, wanting to be in a haunted castle. So Nightmare comes and haunts the castle. Then it has, but this one, unfortunately, there are no writing or artist credits in here. But this Nightmare story really, because one of Harvey's main artists through the 60s was Ernie Colon, who later went on to do a lot of stuff for Marvel and DC. And this one really looks like Ernie Colon. Then I have a cute little follow-up Casper story and a 2-pager of Wendy the Good Little Witch with the troll. And then Hot Stuff, same kinds of stories. very cutesy, and I just like it. Get a big kick out of hot stuff. Similar types of stories, cute stuff. I'm not going to go into details on these stories at all. How he uses his powers, his fork, and going off the handle with his temper, causing little nuisances and winding up helping people and stuff like that. And just all kinds of little things. And it's a lot of fun. Great for kids. And it's just a sense of nostalgia for someone like me. Because I don't read this stuff very much. But I do get an occasional kick out of it when I come across them. So that's all I've got for you this time. Please like, share, subscribe. And don't forget the contest. And again, my email address, korak@yahoo.com. With the answer to that trivia question. And remember, comics are art.